Hey there, today's video is going to look at the syllabus. I'm going to go over what a syllabus is and why it matters. So let's start with the basics. A syllabus is basically a course outline. It has a course description at the top, which tells you what the course is about. It has information about your professor. It has all of your readings, your assignments, and your deadlines. So everything you need to know for the year or the semester is on the syllabus. But it's more than that. It's also a window into the mind of your instructor. So what I mean by that is that the syllabus was written by your professor. Your professor chose to write it that way. They chose the readings. They chose to write the course description in that way. So it tells you a lot about what the professor thinks is important. Now, I like to focus on the course description because the course description is basically a summary of the entire course. It tells you what you're going to learn, what the prof expects from you, just in that one little paragraph. So when you look at a course description, ask yourself a few questions. What does your instructor want you to learn? That's the first question you should ask yourself. How is the syllabus structured and why does it matter? So what I mean by that is what is included in the course? What is not included in the course? Why did the prof include some things and maybe not others? Again, it sort of depends on the class you're taking, but those questions can be really, really helpful. And finally, what is the instructor trying to argue? And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So let's look at this example here. So this is just an example of a course description from a syllabus about, it's a history syllabus and it's about sub-Saharan Africa. And as you can see from the course description, it starts during the colonial period in the 19th century and it goes to today. So the first question I have is why did the instructor start with the colonial period? Why not look at the pre-colonial period? Why not start in the post-independence period? What is the relevance there? So then that leads me to another question. What impact did the colonial period have on the post-independence period? So if the prof is trying to put these two together, is the prof possibly saying that there's a relationship there? Did the colonial period influence the post-independence period? These are questions that I think the course description raises and I think can be really useful when you're looking through the course and when you're thinking about some of the themes in the course. And finally, what picture emerges from the words used in the course description? So here you have resistance, you have colonial rule, you have nationalism, you have decolonization. So this is a course about struggle. So that tells you a little bit about the tone of the course. Now the grade breakdown. So this is just an example. Again, it will depend on the class that you're taking, but this is something you might see, you know, an essay, a book review, and an exam. Now, what do you notice about the workload and grade breakdown? Now, when we compare this to high school, right, it's actually not that much work. I mean, if you think about it, for a full year or even a semester, three little assignments, well, not little, but you have an essay, you have an exam, and you have a book review, 3 things, that doesn't seem like a lot of work, right? And so what can happen is students will procrastinate and then they leave it to the last minute. But there's a bit of a risk here. Each one of these assignments is actually worth quite a bit, right? A book review is 25%, research essays 35%, and a final exam is 40%. So if you mess up on one of these, your grade is going to really, really suffer. So yes, it is less work. In some ways, you're going to find that university is actually not as much work as high school, but there's less room to work with. So what that means is you just need to make it count. So do what you can to make it count. Thank you, and if you have any other questions, please check out my website at uniready.ca. Bye-bye.